So, Piper, you've been in front of this house before. Very different circumstances the first time, but something seems very familiar. For those who do not remember what 1124 Vintner Vine Avenue looked like, it does still, even though it has been 6 months and some change, have a realtor sign out in front of it as though it's perpetually for sale. It's this sort of two-level house, kind of bland, in a cul-de-sac. Has a little porch. It has a fence, so you can't quite see what's happening in the backyard. It has windows, but they have garbage bags over them, so you can't see inside. Um, Unless, of course, you're going to try to move them with magic or something like that. So, to the untrained, it's just a house that hasn't quite sold yet, which is a little weird because it's California and the housing bubble hasn't burst yet. So you think somebody would have bought it. No one's bought it for some reason. There are some rumors something happened to the realtor. Um, so maybe that had some effect on it. But before we decide what time of day it is, what phase the moon is in, and who might be going in first, we're doing that lovely cinematic thing where we pan across the front lawn and you're all standing there. Some of you with memories of the house. Some of you have maybe passed by once or twice, maybe if you had a paper route. But all of you have had at least a little bit of time to plan and to puzzle and wonder. So we're just going to go around and we're going to describe what you're bringing along for this ride. And we'll begin with Bethany. Bethany, as you stand in front of this house with your new friends and your Saturn levelingly parked and your belly full of IKEA meatballs that your mother purchased to make sure you had a hasty meal of some kind before going off. What have you brought with you? And is there any role that you want to do before we enter the house?
I will have brought my baseball bat, my trusty baseball bat that I have been trained to break knees if necessary. And before then, taking a look at Mom's library and seeing if we can find anything about Mother. Anything that would help us, anything that this might be related to.
Then let's do an intelligence plus occult.
All right.
And then any other skills you think might be helpful, but intelligence plus occult.
Where's my occult? Occult is 3, intelligence is 2, so 5, and I am rolling. I've rolled a 9. So that is 14.
So you didn't get as much as you wanted. One thing that you've noted, there's a lot of sisterhoods out there. A lot of covens that use sisterhood in their title. You come across the Sisterhood of the Jay, which I am butchering again, like I did last time, I'm sure. So you've come across a lot of sisterhoods, a couple of aunties, one very perplexing crone entry that very much reminds you of like the witches from Discworld, except just Nanny Ogg.
Okay.
But nothing on Mother. The absence of information. When you go to your mom is like, nothing? Really, on something that powerful? That's very strange. Yeah, I would recommend taking a baseball bat with you. Yes, definitely. What your mom says.
Yeah. And did you find anything with the black roses? The black rose petals that you were trying to do stuff on?
Your mom thinks, not like she's trying to hide something, that she's trying to figure out how to word it. It's a spell component, but it doesn't make any sense because Black Rose spells don't work normally. They're very hit or miss. They're either very powerful and they really work, or they destroy the person using them.
Well, that's comforting.
Yes, I wish I had better information. than that. But you know a Slayer now, and Slayers are
Well, everybody came for
they're
dinner, so
very
everybody
good
knows the
allies.
Slayer. Well,
Yes,
the whole family knows the Slayer, and they now know my
yes.
parents, who look like Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. So they're a good-looking
Uh,
family.
your father got out. Your father went to the garage freezer and got out the special ice cream bars that he'd been saving for like a special occasion for dessert for everybody. Buying
That
you with
worries
ice
me.
cream bars. Yes.
To
He's just
adopt
trying
me.
to be a good dad and be supportive. I mean, he basically dumped all the information in your lap on your birthday. And he'd
It's
been waiting for
true.
a long time to tell you. He'd wanted to break that seal for a long time. He dropped some hints though. The year you turned 14, you did get a Sabrina the Teenage Witch like pack thing of DVDs, and that was him attempting to hint. So
Yeah, well. Okay. Well,
So what you're saying is you're proving that her family lacks in subtlety.
lacks in subtlety and information, or at least information they're willing to share to a bunch of teenagers.
all that library. So here's an interesting thing about people that carry baseball bats, by the way, into combat or
Oh,
assumed combat. Sniper. Once again, someone is standing in front of this house by your side, carrying a baseball bat. How's that feeling for you after having written in your journal all those
Deja
friends
vu?
you had made six? Yeah.
Um, yeah, she kind of looks at the baseball bat and shakes her head. Not in like a negative way. She's been here literally before with somebody carrying a baseball bat. And
Here we go again.
yep.
Did you attempt to do any research, any divining, any magic? Did you just start writing furious notes? Because also, you have a choice to make. Because this property came up for you recently as well. Did you tell anyone about that from your one on one?
Did I tell you all anybody about my one-on-one? I did not, did I? Okay. Um
It's up to you. I'm giving you the opportunity to decide how much you let in your new friends. 'Cause you did also flambe a demon just a couple days ago.
I did.
Really.
No, I don't think she mentioned it to anybody. Um she did do research. She wanted to try to figure out what kind of spell, if any, the components that we've collected from all of the different sites, what kind of spell or ritual could have been potentially cast with these items.
All right, then give me that intelligence plus occult plus any other skills that you wish to employ in your research.
Maybe occultism and knowledge?
Yes, we'll do that.
I got a 10.
And the most you're able to find, even with success, is that in a ritual involving what when you laid down the like pins on the map on the Thomas Atlas, you didn't put like physical pins in that, but you had like something. It definitely made the shape of a pentagram, and most rituals involving pentagrams involve blood. But here's the thing: as far as you can tell, all the people at those sites still had their blood. It looked like they weren't drained of any. Maybe they were. Um, yeah.
Okay. Um I'll probably relay that to Jason because I know Jason was looking into that as well. Um and tell him that's all I was able to come up with and see if he was able to come up with anything more than that. But I think that was the only thing. That, and she probably would have looked up to see like who owns the house now, if it's changed hands recently, that sort of thing.
No. Time has stood still for this house. It's almost like it was waiting for you to come back.
Of course it was.
Which is not creepy. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all
Jason?
she would have done.
Okay. Jason, how excitable would you say you get? Just scale of 1 to 10. Like, scale of, yeah, we'll say 1 to 10, because I can't think of a good lower end Buffy character for the 0 of that scale. But, yeah, so how excitable would you say that you get?
Oh, probably pretty excitable. Just probably a solid 8 minimum, just because, like, this is a terrible situation, and it's probably very disconcerting that I'm so into what's happening. But, like, there's a lot of good information that I'm getting right now, and if I don't die, I might have a paper out of this.
Yeah, and you've got, like, some new friends that really get the vibes, that, like, kind of know about supernatural things to varying degrees. And you have your very own kind of Sophie's Choice to make, in that you have a small library in a former Watcher's place, but you also now have a friend with a family library of all kinds of cult stuff, some of which you don't even know what the name translates to, because it's not even a language that you knew existed. So, like, you kind of have that Belle from Beauty and the Beast vibe after the Beast is like, and here is your library!
When you put it that way, let's put him at basically barely containing the vibration.
Yes. Bethany, I would say that your dad found Jason's enthusiasm kind of adorable and may have whispered to your mom a little bit when out of earshot. So you can take that however you wish, Bethany. How mortified you got.
Yeah, Mom is an actual librarian, like for the local library system. And whatever Dad gets excited about, because it's many things. All I do is I just make sure I warn them that Jason has a very big love of books, and to make sure that our books stay in the house.
Why does everyone keep assuming I'm going to steal books?
Because of the way you kind of slavered over the ones in the secret room.
And at no point did I imply I would take them without permission. In fact, I was wondering where to buy my own copy, if I recall correctly.
Well, that, I suppose, is something you can
Did in fact say that.
Somebody about. I don't know where my parents got these.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
Good occult books are a nightmare. They don't mass produce these. They do terribly at Barnes and Noble.
As an aside, I actually have an occult book dealer, me, Jennifer, who emails me lists of books, and I have an occult library, from before 1920. So by the 2005, they're starting to get online.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So, all that to be said, Jason.
Yeah.
Were you able to get any research done? Are you distracted? Were you able to get any traps ready to go, even if you don't get them set up just to have the stuff with you? How did you prepare?
I mean,
and did you touch any of the books in that family library that you were given access to?
I mean, how can I read them if I don't touch them? And with the assumption that I've given access to means they're go look at things. I would. Yeah. I would like to hope that they would also go, by the way, the right bookshelf strips your skin off if you touch it. I'm cool, great warning, thanks.
That's really helpful. I am going to have you give me a fear test.
Okay.
I want you to give me a willpower to give me a willpower plus. I actually have to see if you have this skill.
Boom, boom.
A willpower plus. Okay, this is where I have like 3 things happening at the same time.
Mhm.
Give me a willpower plus occultism.
Sure. Da, da. And why not?
This is going to go so very well.
Well, I definitely don't want to fail the fear test regarding books, considering my whole thing. So I'll also go ahead and preemptively spend that drama point to get that plus 10.
That's
So,
fair.
oh, and then I rolled a 10. So, so 27.
Ooh. So here's the thing about rolling really well. You have a base of 9 to succeed, but if you roll really, really, really high,
Mm-hmm.
you make something exciting happen. And that's a very high roll for a fear test. So, as you are in Bethany's family library, you do reach out and touch a couple of books. The problem is, and you can't tell exactly why this has happened, but one of the books that you touch, you come back a couple of minutes later to look for another page from it as a research reference book,
Mhm.
and it looks like there's a bit of black goo dripping from the shelf.
Oh. Hey, does this book normally drip goo? I assume not. Very few books I've had experience with do, but I can't rule anything out.
It wasn't me.
Is that something you've done before?
Absolutely.
I didn't touch it.
What do you mean drip goo? And then I yell for
I mean-
my mom because
I mean, what do you mean? What do I mean? That's a very clear statement.
Your mom comes running when you
Like,
say
it's
goo and the
dripping
words
goo.
library. What are you talking about?
I point to the book.
You point
is
to
not-
the book.
I assume the book is not
Jason,
supposed
you
to
look
drip
back
like that.
down at the book where the goo is, and it's gone. And it looks fine.
Okay, no, I definitely saw a goo. As a quick question, does this look anything like the, I don't know, same black where all of my ink disappeared into the salt jar earlier?
Yep.
Ah, damn it. I'm gonna real quick pull it out and flip to see if pages are missing now.
One of the pages looks half faded, but when you go to pass the book off, the letters seem to be there for anyone else.
Are you
Looks at it.
serious? I got a specific curse where I specifically can't read? I'm going to stab Mother so hard. This is bullshit.
Like, and here I thought for some reason suddenly the library apparently drips goo randomly. It's something I didn't know because again I'm really new to this shit, and if I need to know that the library drips goo at the times, I should know this. But now that I see
Library's
that my mom-
time of the month.
And now that
Actually, no, Bethany, kind of the alarming thing is the fact that no one else seems to have seen this happen, and anyone else that has tried to like focus or look or examine, like it's like it didn't happen.
But to me, every time I look at it, it's faded to me specifically when I look at it.
Yes.
Damn it.
I'm like, it
This
looks
is-
fine. What? I don't. Why did? Never mind.
This is a very specific and very annoying curse, and I'd be impressed if I wasn't so incredibly angry about it. God.
Can you tell any of us that it's in your head?
Oh, everything I've said has been what I've been saying. Like,
He's been talking aloud about being cursed for a while.
you know, it's like I cannot see this page properly. It is. You said it was half faded.
Half faded. The bottom half is faded, like somebody left it out in the sun. So like very faint lettering.
Yeah, so
I take a look at that page, just to make sure it's there to see what the page is about.
It just looks like a page. It's written in Greek of all languages, so it's hard to read. Anyways, it's literally all Greek to you.
you son
it,
of a
And I
bitch.
say that.
there's like a picture of a fish on top of the page, so it could be a recipe for a good fish soup for all you know. Really.
Yeah. It looks good to me. Well, by good I mean the letters are here. I can't read it, but okay. So you weren't actually joking about that whole curse thing.
What? Why would I joke about that? It's terrible. Why would I joke about me being cursed? Someone else, sure, but me?
I thought you were using a bit of hyperbole.
No, what? No.
Hyperbole for a curse?
Damn. No.
Hyperbole is the right word, right? No, I can't.
I
No.
mean, assuming you mean you
Your
exaggerate,
mom
yeah.
nods at hyperbole.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Your mother does not attempt to pick up the book and is like, we'll work on we'll do with that a little later. Curses are slightly out of our purview, but we'll do some research and see if we can find anything while you kids go
Yeah.
out and do whatever you need to do. So all that to be said, Jason, did you get a chance to do anything?
I mean,
outside of the
presumably.
research?
Um,
What did you? So basically, because your traps require setting up, what did you like? Which go bag did you grab, or like what?
well,
what are you?
that
thinking
question's
you brought?
determined by whether or not I get a research roll to get more info.
Okay, let's do that research roll.
Yeah, because that would change potentially which one I bring.
That's fine.
So
Are you
I
doing
assume
mundane research, or are you doing magical research?
well, I'm trying to figure out what mother is, so I assume that's magical.
Yes.
Don't
You
imagine she's in a lot of
even-
science books.
Yeah. So what was your ultimate score? Because you have a library, which adds some bonus to you. You have all kinds of stuff, even with the weird apparent curse you're now under.
Yeah. See, intelligence 5, occult 4. The library, since I've got 3, gives me a +1, so that puts me at 10. And then photographic memory, the bonus I get in a roll is either somewhere between 1 and 3, depending on your call on how much that would help.
I'm gonna give you this at a 3.
Well, then I start at a 13, assuming it's intelligence occult.
Yes. So you started at 13, and that's plus your D10.
Yep.
Or you start. So what was your D10?
A 3 making 16.
16.
I must do this obligatory interruption. Nerd.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't worry. Speaking of curses, we're getting to you, Simon. Don't worry about it, none. So you come across the same issue that Piper and Bethany come across, in that the lack of information about Mother starts to become disconcerting. Now, with your photographic memory, you get something a little different.
Mhm.
Because you know the value of missing items, and you know about the value of things that are unsaid. And so you, on a pretty good hunch, may not have all the clues, but if this isn't some sort of cult that did a pentagram ritual in the city, what the hell else would they do? You know, that kind of thing. Like, it doesn't take a genius to kind of figure it out. You can dance around it all you want, but if it's not a cult, what else would it be? The only other ritual would have to be as dark as a cult. It would have to be like Hale-Bopp Comet dark. And people are dead. Although how long they've been dead is relatively unknown, but people are dead.
All right. Did any of that give me any idea onto the like soft
When
ball?
you-
Is demon is some extra thing? Should I bring pesticide?
When you try to pick it out in your brain, you start to hear laughter. in your head. Like the
What?
closer you get to it, the more you start hearing something in your head kind of laughing at you, and it's a male voice. You make a decision,
Okay.
and I want you to decide. I want you to decide one of your traps to bring. That's the decision only you can make.
Okay. Then I'll go with the what was the super fun name for that one?
They all have super fun names. By the way, he's going to say the super fun name of this trap aloud, and you can decide how you react. Which trap have you decided to bring Freddie Jones, as they say?
I'll bring the holy water hurricane.
So all of you hear the phrase "holy water hurricane," and you can decide exactly how you interpret that. And we're going to move on.
What? The what?
Yes, Simon, that is your reaction as we move on to Simon. You hear "holy water hurricane," and it sounds like either a weird drink from New Orleans or, well, maybe it comes in a super soaker? Who knows? But Jason seems very jazzed about it.
So, yep, I'll go with that. And then, like, if you'll allow it, basically a backpack with, the... how do I want to phrase this? Basic supplies for various things. Like, I don't know,
Yeah. You can have a few baggies of things, so it's like a fanny pack of like just in case.
Yeah, basically. My bag of, I hope I don't need this.
Yes. Yeah, so Simon, you can do whatever prep you want to do, but you also kind of have responsibilities, like having IKEA meatballs and stuff like that's great, but you got a little brother at home, you've got a moon maybe you've been keeping an eye on. Your thing is really kind of brute foresty anyways, so have you gotten to do any prep? Did you have to like leave the group and come back? And
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I've got IKEA meatballs that I can snag and bring home, and little brother will absolutely love those. I do know that I don't need a lot of prep since I can bring the muscle. However, there's a Slayer involved now, and they're talking about vampires, so maybe I need some sharp, pointy sticks.
it's true. You can find shot. I will let you know as you get up to the house and we're doing the cinematic pan across. You do notice the door has been like put back into place, but I'm just going to give you this. Like it's not attached at the hinges. The door is just like literally placed, so it looks like it's like solid, but like someone can like touch it and it's going to like fall.
That's a terrible job at hiding there, breaking and entering.
Terrible job hiding breaking. Is it also a terrible job for you because I wanted you to make the choice? How's the moon doing? Because you are hyper aware of the moon. Are we getting close to that special time of the month?
I mean, he has not said a lot to the group about the moon. Although it's not hard to pick up the fact that he just seems a little bit more aggressive.
Is it your goo time too?
Some of us don't deal with goo.
Some of you deal with extra rare steaks.
Also, I would argue none of us actually deal with goo. So, just thought that's not what that is.
I mean, apparently he does.
Books!
Mr.
They're books!
Kirsten making.
There's black goo. There's some weird white stuff that looks kind of like straw, but it's sticky.
Yuck,
You know,
yuck.
all kinds of things that happen in the occult world. But yeah, Simon, if you're feeling ready to go, speaking of people with stakes, and I'll give you like 5 stakes, and we're not really going to count them because we're not going to get that detailed about it. But let's say you got 5 stakes. There are 5 pieces of the back neighbor who's kind of been a douche to you is missing 5 pieces of fence now. You deal with that later.
Yeah, he won't notice the chunks of fence.
Yeah, birds works anyways. They put in a mulberry tree, so now you have like birds that fly over your house and poop on your roof, and it's very much like not okay.
We'll bring a football just in case I need a projectile.
Yeah, good solid plan. So, Fee.
Also, it's close enough that if nobody else is paying attention, they might freak out. But I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I mean, you've been a werewolf for a while, so you're like, yeah, this is where the moon is. This is how I feel. I know myself, and Mother knows about that, but that's not disconcerting in any way, shape, or form. It's probably fine. Probably.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
So
everything's fine now.
Yeah, everything's fine. So, Fee, is everything fine as you stand before this house? Did you try to call the Slayer hotline again to see if they had any information? Have you been doing meditation techniques? Yeah.
So she would have definitely called the Slayer hotline for sure. Because this is like her first time she actually is going into a situation where she knows she's probably going to have to be the Slayer. So
yeah,
everything else is an accident.
So it's kind of funny when you call the Slayer hotline. It takes you a bit longer to get through, and then you are on hold for about 20 minutes. You hear the orchestral hold rendition of "Girl from Ipanema" much longer than you want to. And eventually, a male voice picks up and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm the only one here. Hello, hello." And it is a very handsome British-sounding voice, somewhat more adult than you might expect. They don't introduce themselves. They go, "Hello, you've reached the Slayer hotline. How can I be of assistance?"
Hi. My name is Fee. I'm the Slayer in Ocean Heights. Right, I get maybe.
Oh yes, we've heard. Let me pull up your file here. Let's see. Oh, you're the one that called in about Luke. Yes, you've spoken to Cherry and Dira. It looks like yes. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Have things gotten better for you?
No, they haven't.
Oh dear. Yes, and we don't have a watcher for you. That's very
well.
Are you a watcher? Maybe that's.
Because you sound like a watcher. I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming that all watchers are British. I don't know, but like,
well, a whole bunch of us are. That's where the Watchers Council is, dear. I was a watcher. Now I'm working with a group in Los Angeles, but I'm just here for the weekend. I guess. Well, Ocean Heights was near Sunnydale. Did you ever meet Cordelia? Cordelia Chase. Does that name sound familiar to you?
The name is familiar because of the. So would I have met Cordy?
Yes. You would not have met Cordelia, but you know her name because even though she's not a Slayer, she somehow ended up in the Slayer journals.
Well, she definitely would have ended up in the Slayer journals. Like, there's no way that Buffy didn't bitch about her. At the beginning, at least. But yeah, no, I didn't meet Cordelia, but I've heard of her. Yeah. I definitely have read the Slayer journals up to a certain point. I think it was about when Buffy went to college. So that's about.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you may have seen my name. You may have seen my name, Dareth. I'm. They call me Wesley. They may call me Wes in the book. They love to shorten my name. I don't understand why. But yes, I'm Wesley. I'm just doing a little work here and research here in where our current base is. So you're having trouble with a vampire named Luke, and I understand this vampire is supposed to be dead. Correct, dusted, dead in the vampire sense, not dead in the human sense, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, and he's apparently in your dreams. Is it like a prophetic dream? Do things happen in this dream?
So it's hard to say that it was prophetic because I would say kind of, because since then we have learned that there is in fact a Luke in the world again that sounds like him, has his name, but like I don't know for sure if he is a vampire or if he's like reincarnated into a human body. Like I don't know what the situation is, But there's definitely a Luke that fits the sound of his voice. I haven't seen him, but he's like the district manager or something for the.
Oh yeah, they
for
do
the
love their
place.
hierarchies. Vampires, they do
Yeah,
love.
they do.
Usually they go by like general or corporal. They don't usually go by district. It sounds like they took me to a restaurant, an In and Out burger of some kind of
Right.
place, and it seemed like
Kind of
they
like
had
that, but
that.
really, really shitty.
Oh,
Like
oh,
terrible with like spiders in the. It was gross. Um,
oh, that's
it's
unfortunate.
traumatizing, really. But no, like Sir Shakes, I think they called it. I think that was the name of the place. But yeah, like he's the district manager or something of this Sir Shakes. Um, I'm assuming it's the same person. I don't really know. Like I didn't see him. It sounds like him. The name is the same, so I'm assuming it's the same person. But that's really what's going on, and it's not getting any better. And I definitely like killed some people. I did some slavery stuff, which is great. But I really need to sort of be more prepared going forward.
You hear some flipping, and he goes, "Okay, so here's the best that I can offer you right now, because we're just doing some research. Because as far as we're concerned, this can't be the same Luke. We've
I
never
mean,
heard of. Yes,
right.
it's not. It's just we don't have that information. I will say, if you are having prophetic dreams, but an anomalous evil creature, we're assuming this being Luke being evil, if they have not attempted to touch you." Then there's a good chance they don't necessarily have a physical form, and it's a plane of recreation sort of event where perhaps they're trying to be recreated. It's sort of so. Have you heard of the powers that be, which is they're kind of the overarching thing? Yes. So
I
they've
nod
got
my
like
head on the phone like he's going to
yes,
hear me.
yes. He's assuming you're nodding because he's Wesley. He's like, so they have something like that, but it's the powers below. And so these people, and we have some of that problems in San Francisco. There's some witches here called the Charmed Ones, I guess, and they have some issues with like powers below. So it's a little unique to their situation and not ours, but it has to do a lot with the transfer of power, with giving energy to something. So the best I can give you, dearest, and I'm so sorry we don't have a watcher for you. There was a slayer there before you were called. Aaron, someone. We don't seem to have a last name for them. We can't read their handwriting. But apparently, Aaron did have a watcher. It was a rather a unique thing where it was a male slayer, which predates male slayers are a rather new thing, which is very strange. But it was a male slayer with a female watcher, which was rather interesting as far as we can tell. But yes, we haven't had any reports. They did not want to be part of the slayer. Of us building this, as far as we can tell, so maybe that's what it was. But it was kind of an interesting thing. So obviously they've most likely passed since you have been activated. I'm still getting used to the new thing with many slayers.
Right.
But
I don't.
so
I'm under the
yeah.
impression that wasn't necessary anymore. And also, one of my new friends was friends with Aaron. Um,
Oh, oh dear.
yeah.
Oh, that must be very traumatic.
Well,
Oh,
they
that's
think he's dead because they
yes.
also thought that was the case, where like he had to die for me to get called up. But like because I know that that's not the case anymore, you know, I've sort of not reassured her that he's alive because I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't even know who this person is. But I definitely said like there is a possibility. I'm hoping I didn't lie to her. Get her little hopes up because she's real cute. I don't want to make her be. I'm concerned. She's also a witch, and I know how witches can be. They're scary if they get scary, and then they flay people. Oh wait, I don't know that part yet. They're right.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess the advice that I would give you, in so much as I'm not there, so I don't know what's going on, and I do apologize. We don't have a watcher for you. We're
You could
working through
come.
the
You
system.
could come down. Like you
Oh,
said, you're in LA, right? Like we're not that far away.
well,
Like a
well,
like a short car ride.
so here is a little hitch. Oh, by the way, this is a good tip for you. I'll give you two tips, and then I'm gonna have to go. Sorry, my love.
Uh,
So the first tip is that if you have an evil being in a dream, prophetic or not, as long as they're not trying to touch you,
mhm.
it's not necessarily a thing on this plane. It's when they try to touch you that it becomes very concerning. So as long as that hasn't happened yet, you're fine. The second bit of information I will give you, because this is something that we're dealing with in kind of where I'm moving in life. If you come across something called wolfram heart, so if you see those three animals in succession, I want to avoid that. We're starting to find we're having some issues with them. They're kind of masquerading as a law firm, but they seem to be prevalent in certain areas of things that are kind of powers below adjacent. So if you see like those three distinctive animals in your dream, then please do call back and ask for me, and they will transfer you. I would more than hate for you to get wrapped up in something that even we don't have much information about yet. But as long as nothing is trying to touch you in your dream, you're probably okay for now. Just always remember, as a slayer, always have someone helping you where your periphery blind spots are. Because there were several slayers that had issues with that. They were called up and they would get good at slaying in one direction, but then their peripheries, they just never concentrated on them. And it's like, that's like fighting with two hands tied behind your back. So just always know your peripheries, have a good team together, and we are working on your... And your phone goes dead.
Great. I love how he was talking about Cordelia like they don't have like an entire history. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this person, Cordelia, that's like, I don't know, she might have been there at some point. I don't
Maybe,
know.
I don't know. I don't remember dancing with her at prom, even though I'm in my 30s. It wasn't weird at all.
Inappropriate when a 17-year-old when I was in Sunnydale. I don't remember that.
Not at all. Yes, that's also the best my British accent gets. So I'm glad that I was able. But yes. So the thing is, when you either try to call back or when you try to call your phone, it takes your phone about 5 minutes before, like, it seems like it was cycling through rebooting, but your phone didn't change. But for some reason, it's getting harder to call the Slayer hotline, essentially.
I don't like that at all. Was there any kind of smell of rose petals or anything?
No, it's just technology, hopefully. No smell of rose petals, nothing that...
No ooze coming out of the brick.
No ooze coming out of the brick. God, wouldn't that be great if there was some kind of signal, you know?
So she definitely would have done a little more sort of like scanning through maybe the journal. Yeah, definitely let me know when I'm allowed to take the time to read more into the journal, because it's getting harder for me now to be like, yeah, this thing that happened in her third year of college.
I promise you that if you need that information, you'll have it.
Okay.
But I will also say, with the roll I made, you're not going to have the time to do it right now. Also, because Bethany's folks are apparently Slayer superfans, so they have so many questions for you that, like, you cannot answer, and you're lucky to get any sustenance from the IKEA Meatball Fest. Because they're like, when they're not focused on the library, they're just like, so you're the Slayer. And it's like, they don't blink when they, like, look at you. Bethany, they get super weird.
I will at some point go, Mom, Dad, and like get in there and like pull Fiona.
She's prophecy, destiny. Your dad is like just saying the words prophecy and destiny like all over the place.
Dad, please, these are my friends.
But maybe she fought Angelus
later.
I did not. I'm new. I know who he is, though. I've read books. One book, couple books.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Dad tries to be cool, and Dad is not cool. But because you are the Slayer, I'm gonna give you what.
Dad's real hot.
Yeah. That's something you could all discuss potentially on your way later, like out of earshot of Dad, because Dad would definitely preen about that, and it would get very weird. So, as Slayer, I'm gonna say you can bring whatever you want to bring. I'm not gonna like do what weapons did you bring with you, so you can decide that. But I did roll a d5.
Okay.
And in this case, this is deciding the time that you all roll up to this house, and the d5 decided Piper, besides when you were all at the house. So, Piper, how much urgency do you feel in getting to this place where it was both the source of your greatest triumph at the beginning and now?
Yeah. I mean, I really wish this was anywhere else. I really don't want to go back to this place, but it's she feels like it's urgent enough. So, um I would say, what time did we get to Bethany? Like around what time did we get to Bethany's house and like start our research and everything?
I will say that you school was not quite out yet, so you had to be a bit sneaky. I will say you got to Betsy's place about 2 p.m.
Okay. Um I will
And it would have
say
been shorter if you hadn't traipsed around the school without checking your phone and sending a text so people would know you were
I
alive.
was being a sneaky ninja, and sneaky ninjas do not check their cell phone.
Sneaky
Um,
ninjas need their friends to make sure they're not going to die.
I
Ugh.
texted you when I could, and I'm fine. I'm gonna say, um, that we gave ourselves enough time to kind of do some research, get something to eat. Um, so I would say we probably got there just like at sunset or right as the sun sets. So
All
like
right.
maybe between like, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 6 or 7 in the evening.
I don't know if you remember, but that's about the same time you were here last time.
Yep.
And I will, without making you roll, and now I'm going to open this up so you're all there at the same time. The door is just kind of standing there on its hinges, Piper, because you've been thinking about this place and this door for a variety of reasons. Nice stiff breeze is going to nice stiff breeze will knock it over, and who knows what's behind it. Welcome to 1124 at Nervine, the center of Ocean Heights and of whatever weird ritual currently going on.
Can I ask one question real quick because I can't remember? In my
Always.
dream, was the door like this or was it closed? Was it
It was off of its hinges already.
in my dream as well?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay. So
I'm
this
not
is
going to check
like
the tapes. I'm going to. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
okay.
essentially, the door was off of its hinges already, like you were mid going in
Okay.
already.
So we walk up to this house and it's like I'm walking in from my dream, essentially. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, is like when
Yeah.
we left, we didn't blow the door off the hinges when we got there or when we left. It was fine. I mean, that was fine. The rest of the house was kind of fucked, but
Yeah.
so yeah, as soon as I notice that the door is off its hinges, she just stops and stares.
Bethany, it does not take an emotional genius to realize that Piper's body language is real bad right now. The amount of energy that Jason had in the vibration of all this library research stuff is almost the exact opposite of how Piper is right now.
Piper. Piper,
What?
is there something you need to tell us?
So, most of you, Jason aside, had dreams,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't real, right? They weren't like real places that you'd been. They weren't real things that you have experienced. My dream was real. My dream was here. The door wasn't like that the last time I was here. It was like that in my dream.
Okay, so who or what went through the door first
I
in
don't
your
know.
dream?
And I don't know who went through there first. I just know that in my dream, the house was full of vamps, like it was that night that we were here. But things were different. They were winning. They were hurting my friends. They were killing my friends instead of us killing them like it was that night. And then Mother was in the kitchen. I don't know. It was weird. I lit the house on fire in my dream and left.
Simon is BRB, and I'm gonna say Simon pipes up and go. Oh, Mother was in the home ec class in my dream. It was Mother making cookies for you as well, Piper?
She kind of turns and looks at him. Yeah, actually, she was. It was weird. Like in the middle
Yeah,
of
it
all
was.
like the carnage of them killing my friends. She's just there making cookies.
Did she like offer you a cookie?
She did.
She offered me a cookie. I didn't take the
I
cookie.
didn't take it either.
It wasn't the time or the place for the cookie. It was bad cookie. It was a bad cookie.
I thought originally that it was just me living through what happened that night. So I did everything that I did, and I used my mind to throw a vamp across the room, and it hit the wall, but it hit like a frame or something, and it got staked. Um, but that didn't happen in my dream. Everything was just wrong in my dream. It was like the same, but reversed. Instead of us winning and killing all the vamps were winning and killing my friends.
In everything that I've seen, especially the ones I said no to cake that was baked to look like me, which was
Star Trek cake! It was the Star Trek cake!
was really fucking creepy. But you said no. Simon said no. Fee, when you dealt with Mother, you said no.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was able to, in my dream, I knew I was a slayer. So I obviously said no to. But I mean, the big thing is that it was okay. Mother was not in my dream. Mother was referenced in my dream. So she sort of had Luke as an ambassador in my dream, and he was like, "Mother loves you. You should join us." I'm like, "Fuck you," kind of thing. Yeah. Basically.
And Jason.
Oh, I didn't even have it. I didn't even get an offer. She wrecked my computer monitor and I think tried to give me like 1,000 viruses.
Did she
and
ask
pop-up
you
ads.
to join her or to give her something?
Asked me to stop bidding on a book on eBay.
So she was asking you to let her win.
Yeah. And no, I wanted that
And you
book.
said no.
Of course I said no. Though apparently it wasn't even real in the first place. I guess the dude didn't actually have the book. It's very frustrating. And
that's a thing for later.
I don't know. It might be part of how I got personally cursed, apparently. Why did I get cursed and no one else did this?
Because you told her no in the real world and we all said no in our dreams. And the thing is, the kids who got caught told her yes. And I know that because they told me they did. So whatever happens in there, we have to keep telling her no.
And I wasn't super planning on telling her yes.
Well,
it's good to have a game plan.
The game plan is stop whatever this ritual is and tell Mother no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Piper.
But, yeah, who goes in? I mean, how do we go in, Piper?
Oh, I was.
There's an open door.
Should we just burn the place down from the outside?
That isn't locked. We should walk in the door.
What if there's innocence in there?
Oh,
that's what
right.
we're here for. That's what I'm the muscle, you're the magic, you're the psychic, you're the books. I don't know what the puppy man is. That's really condescending. I'm sorry.
Hey! Simon just goes, hey, not a puppy.
I'm
werewolf.
sorry.
Not
I'm
a
sorry.
puppy.
So I guess
Wolfie.
are we gonna try going quiet, or am I just gonna blow the door the rest of the way off, and we're just gonna go in hot?
We could just open the door and walk in.
I mean, not literally hot. I'm not gonna like burn it down, but like, you know what I mean.
I mean, that could be plan F for fire. We should not go in guns blazing. Or stakes.
Please take 5 drama points for a fire pun.
Yes.
Puns.
But
Well,
yeah,
we have
you
to do something.
literally
We have
are
to do-
standing just before a closed door, not even on its hinges. Right now, it's just hanging out.
I have a quick question. Are there any lights on or anything like that in the place at all, or is it just straight dark?
You can't tell because of like they've got the black trash bags, um, that are over the window. So if there is light, you wouldn't be able to
Gotcha. Okay.
see.
Take a minute before we go into the house to um just lean into the fucking deja vu and go up on the porch and do Tier Le Couture again and see if there's any magic going on
Cool.
in the backyard
Yeah.
like there was or wherever. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna do the circle of my blessed stand and light the incense. I quietly kind of mumble a couple of words. And I am not talking to anybody. I'm just concentrating on the circle and the words. And oh right, I have to roll for that, don't I?
Yeah.
You do need to roll, but you're probably going to get it because it's. I think it's one. I think it has a -1 penalty on it, right? I think
It
that's your -1
does, but
penalty.
I got
Yeah. So
I have a quick question while she's looking that up. How did we determine what time we were going in?
yes,
7
Piper
o'clock.
determined that you were about 6:37 p.m.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. It's
Then-
is it occultism and notice with my willpower?
no, to do it should be. Let's check your spell book because you have a spell book in here.
I do, but I didn't
Pull the
see
curtains
it.
back. Yeah.
It doesn't
So I'm just gonna have it
say.
be willpower plus occultism and then a -1 to
Okay.
it because it's your
Uh,
somewhat known spell.
Then I got with the -1. I got a 10.
Okay. You do it. So you are kind of blocking the stairs because there are a couple stairs up to the porch. So you're just kind of everyone else is behind you. Most of you have not seen this spell. Jason, you've read about this spell. You've never seen it in practice before. In fact, you haven't seen most spells in practice, really.
Yeah. Speaking of
except
that,
for trying
real
to.
quick,
Yeah.
real quick, while she's doing that, and I don't, she asked before she started, so I know for sure she was doing it. I'll pull out my little EMF plus reader wand, whatever, so I can take
Yes.
readings while she's doing it, because I don't get a lot of
Great.
chances to have someone do spells right in front of me.
So when you see the floating eyeball that this spell produces, do
Neat.
you drop your EMF reader seeing the floating eyeball? Because this spell produces literally a floating eyeball that looks for magic.
No,
That's
that's
what little
amazing.
effect does.
That's great.
Yes.
Is
Your
it always
EMF
that
reader
color?
whines and then explodes.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Oh,
Alright, it turns out I had that tuned a little too sensitive.
Little too sensitive. Also, Piper's just a great witch. You know, it's really good that you said no to mom because if you had said yes, she would have a really great witch on her side.
So do I see anything?
There are just slight remnants of the ritual that the sisterhood did, and it has like a weird kind of pulsating red quality. There is a gold light. It looks like it's kind of center of the house. You can't quite tell where it is, but there is something in the house where there is magic. But it's not against the front door, so that's good.
And I can't tell if it's upstairs or downstairs. It's just somewhere in the middle.
Not with the 10.
Okay.
Just short of what you'd need.
Okay. There's
Piper!
there's something.
You
in
have-
this- What?
Piper, you have drama points.
Can I use the drama point to make it a bit much more? To add the whatever it is to that?
5.
Look at the little drop points thing and see if you want to add anything. Let's see.
It will be +10 to a. Is it +10 to the roll?
It is.
Yeah. Can I add
Oh.
+10 to it to make it extra special?
So heroic feat needs to be done during combat. It's not really something that you can just.
Sorry,
You
heroic
can
feat
do
is
the plot twist, which
can
helps
do
you
the
find a
plot
vital
twist.
clue.
Yes.
Also, sorcery levels can give bonus up to +5 and help with fatigue.
Yes.
I'll do the vital clue if I can to know whether or not it's
Alright.
upstairs or where to know to figure out exactly where it's at.
Plot
It
twist.
is upstairs.
Okay. There is some kind of magic coming from upstairs. There's a little bit, just a remnant from the ritual we did, or that the ritual that the sister was doing the last time I was here from the backyard. The only other magic that I see is upstairs.
Do you see any people or vampires?
No, it just shows me magic.
Oh. So vampires aren't considered magic?
When you get down to the taxonomy of how a lot of the books do, they don't typically consider them an active magical effect. This is really not the time for it, is it, huh?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It mainly looks for people actively doing spells or rituals, something of that nature. It doesn't necessarily look for magical creatures.
Okay.
So it's like a motion sensor for magic instead of like actively moving rather than just ambiently existing.
Yes. But for instance, if somebody had put a magical trap on the door, I would have been able to see that, so we would know not to go through that door. That sort of thing. That's more what I was. That's
What
what I
kind
was
of
looking
awful
for.
person would put a magical trap right behind your door in
I
your house that
wonder.
had caused you grief? I can't imagine someone doing something like that.
I'm sure.
Anyway, I think I'll take point. Do you have an issue with that, Slayer?
Sorry?
I said I think I'll take point. And he kind of points at the sky without actually making any other motions. If anybody's going to walk away from anything here tonight, it's me.
I look up. What is above us?
The moon.
The moon.
Oh, the moon.
Oh.
You're the one calling puppy earlier and you forgot.
No, I didn't forget he was a wolf. I thought he was doing something snarky, like pointing at it. Just I was just in the I was in the brain of he's being a dick.
Oh,
no, I'm totally being a dick.
Yeah, but specifically in that moment, I was like, "What the fuck are you pointing at?" Because you just said take point, and then he pointed.
Piper's
Very
gonna
literal.
look at him and kind of give him a nasty look and say, "Well, let's hope all of us leave."
Yeah, you apparently haven't paid attention to any of the previous interactions between Slayers and your situation. But I would say that you shouldn't assume that you're the only one that's going to walk the fuck out of here when I exist.
I don't even want to be here. Can we just do something, please?
I'm just saying. Also, we're a team. I'm not sure anybody's taking point.
I mean,
or maybe
someone literally has to be the first person to walk through the door.
First, just gonna walk.
Someone does literally have to be the one on the point. That's
Piper, you just literally just like walk to the door. So Piper, like when you walk to the door, like your knee brushes against it and it falls down. It makes a big noise.
Yeah, she walks in. She's been here before. She knows the layout. She just walks in while they're arguing.
So
it'd be fun.
So the last time you were here, there were piles of dust. And you didn't necessarily clean them up when you left. But someone has been here recently enough that it looks like it was dusted downstairs. And by dusted, I mean like somebody like
cleaned, yeah.
Took like a thing to like clean it up. How far downstairs are you walking? Are you going down the hallway of nightmares to the kitchen, to the backyard? Are you just going up the stairs because that staircase is right there?
Do I hear anything in the house to suggest that there are people here? Or
yeah, as if there's an echo, there's a creak from upstairs. Because you made a loud noise with knocking down the door.
I'm gonna head upstairs. Because out of everybody, I'm the most qualified one to stop whatever magic is happening upstairs.
You get to the top of the stairs and you just hear, "Go away! Don't come any closer!" And it is the most panicked, high-pitched, middle child from the Brady Bunch having a maturity spike to them. Like it's the voice of a squeaky teen.
Do I recognize the voice?
No.
Has that ever worked?
It's not working today, and I'm gonna walk towards the voice. Is the
Great.
voice coming from where I sensed the magic? Or is it coming from a
Yes.
different room? It is. Okay.
It's coming from where you sense the magic. All the doors are closed, but there is one door that is super closed that there is your voice behind, and you hear movement. And you just hear this male voice, approximately your age, going, "Please go away. Please, just leave. Please go. Please don't. Don't do this. Please, I'm
This
begging
is a
you."
trap. This is absolutely a trap. Um,
I would never. Why are you so suspicious? I've
Because we
never done
play
this
with you on a
before.
regular
know
basis,
you.
John.
What are you talking about? Anyways, do you want to open the door? It's just closed.
I'm also heading up after. I'm not letting her go in by herself.
Yeah, no, we're 100% going with her.
Bethany?
Like,
So-
yeah.
Bethany, give me a psychometry roll.
Oh, God.
Why? I didn't touch anything.
while Bethany is
I know.
rolling, I have a question about where the door that I wanted to head to that has the magic and the voice. How many doors do I need to walk past to get to that door? Like, how many doors are closed on this
All
hallway?
5 doors are closed, and you're
Okay.
going to walk by one at the top of the stairs, and it's like the middle. It's like that weird Bart room where
Okay.
sometimes it's in the middle and sometimes at the end. It's in the middle in this episode.
Okay.
Fun fact about The Simpsons, they never keep continuity about where the kids' rooms are in various episodes. They're all over the place. But in this case, it's the middle room, which is the Bart room. Bethany,
I rolled a
what'd you get?
10, and therefore I have a 15.
Great. Who's going to catch Bethany before she faints?
Fuck.
Not
I
it.
will.
Well,
All right.
I feel like
I'm gonna
out of
double
all of us,
that.
I probably have the quickest reflexes, just being a slayer.
Bethany, yeah, that voice that doesn't want to come into that room, overwhelming emotions. Like, you don't have to, like, it's almost like, even though you were not physically touching them, like,
Oh,
the emotions are like, whoa, yes, that is exactly, yeah.
so I have this new thing that I can do that I want to do because
Yeah.
I'm going to be
It's
unconscious.
the
I might as
addition,
well.
you haven't gone unconscious. You didn't, like, faint. It was just basically, that was almost like a psychic version of a dex roll to see if you, like, fell backwards. So
Okay.
you didn't faint. Yeah.
Yes.
But there's definitely like a whoa. Like, you're just like, that has never happened to you before.
No, but I apparently have this instinct that I really want to focus in on why this is happening. I can focus in. What is it
So
called?
it's a dexterity plus perception. So it's basically the same as what Piper has to do after a successful telekinesis roll.
Dexterity
essentially.
plus perception. So 4. You know what? I actually, if this person is having this kind of emotion and it feels genuine, I want to feel why. So I'm going to go ahead and use a drama point. So that's going to add 5. So that gives me
Alright.
a base of 9.
Cool.
And
Hope you didn't get more than 25.
no, I only rolled a 7. So
Okay.
16.
Fiona,
Yes.
I need an occultism willpower roll from you.
Some willpower roll. That
Occultism plus
seems
willpower.
like
Willpower
a
plus
thing.
occultism.
Willpower may be something I'm going to do well on, but occultism, I have none of that. And of course, when my computer chose to be unplugged, it went away from me on roll 20. So give me a second.
You're fine.
In this case, it wasn't my cat. It was me choosing to either be warm or have my computer still plugged in.
Oops.
So I
It's the
really
same
need to
thing
get
with
a new.
your cap, though.
I mean, fair enough. No, it's just the thing was too far over, and so anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. Keep putting my name up like instead of a new Slayer stats. What the hell? Okay. Occultism. Where are you?
Cultism is your skill, willpower is your attribute.
Thank you. Occultism is what I was looking at. Okay, so 2 plus 5. So that's plus 7. Remind me, it's a D6, right?
D10. This is a
D10.
D10. The cinematic
I knew
unit
that.
system is a D10 based system, which is weird, but we're rolling with it. Haha.
Yeah.
Nice pun.
It was so nice when I used to only play D20 systems. Now I play all the things that I can't keep shit straight. Okay. Alright, so 4 plus 7. Yeah, so 11.
11. Great. So, Fiona, you have a premonition. And Bethany, you have a premonition too. You both see a group of eggs.
Eggs?
Of eggs.
Are they
Where?
big, scary, slimy eggs in the vein of episode 4 of season 1 with the bugs?
Very possible.
Okay.
It's vaguer for you. It's much more clear for Bethany. Bethany, these are like, I don't know if Bethany has seen Alien, but like that, but like if they were chicken eggs instead of like weird
Oh, so they're little.
alien eggs.
Yeah. What is their surrounding?
You can't tell. You weren't prepared for it, so you can't focus in on it,
Right.
but like
But it is stemmed somehow from this intense emotion coming from upstairs.
yes.
I think he's been infected. Literally, is what I say.
Your genetics. Sorry, yeah. The repo to genetic
So
operant.
I love Repo so much more than I ought to.
So you say he's been infected. Jason, Simon, there is an infected person upstairs. Potentially. Maybe.
That's going to be in my head for the rest of the night.
I mean, like,
Simon doesn't get the reference, so he's confused.
Well, we wouldn't
How?
in game get the reference because it doesn't exist
it's
yet.
nothing, but there is an infected something upstairs. That is what Bethany has said. Is the word infection? That's what you hear. So you might think of zombies, a mummy. Ew.
That's why he's going infected. How so? Like, infected with what?
I don't know, but like alien, like if it's a person, it might be inside him.
Well, that's where the magic is coming from. Maybe we can stop it.
Or yes,
you
yeah,
got
but
an exorcism
maybe that's
ritual
why
in
he
there?
wants us to leave because it's about to burst out of him, and we need to figure out how.
Yes, it's going to burst for me. Please go. It's going to burst at any second. Big bursting. Big bursting. Please vacate the house.
I mean, that doesn't sound believable to me.
We can't just leave the I mean, we have to try, right?
Okay, there's a specific door the voice is coming from, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm gonna look it up and down. Does it look like it's closed?
It is closed. It is a door that is closed. It is a usual brown door for an upstairs bedroom, let's say.
I don't like the way you said that.
I don't know how else to describe it. If I just say it's a brown door, it sounds weird. Just be like, "There's a brown door in front of
No,
me."
it doesn't. That sounds normal. That sounds absolutely normal, John. This person
I'm gonna
is
take a minute
absolutely
and
not dead.
like see if I can smell anything weird behind the door.
Yeah, you want to throw up. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Like whatever you smell when you like attempt to smell, you're like, nope.
Oh, gross! It's like rotten eggs back there, but worse.
I have to try. I'm sorry. You guys can go back downstairs and leave. I'll stay. I
Nope.
have to try.
Nope. We're not going anywhere. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna try to open the door.
The door is not locked. Piper, what is the weirdest thing you can imagine?
I mean, I hung around with Aaron and Carrie, so I can imagine some pretty weird shit.
Great. What's the weirdest thing you can imagine?
Oh God, I don't know.
Like, which kind of weird?
Yeah,
Like,
Uh,
there's a
talking about like tentacle monsters and
she's also a fan
Like,
of
I've-
like horror movies and stuff. So I mean, she has a pretty good imagination.
hentai.
horror
Great.
weird. I took a bad mushroom weird.
So I want you to picture in your brain, and then
Okay.
I'm going to give everyone take a couple of seconds, and I want you to envision the weirdest thing that you can think of. Just
Again,
the weirdest. Just
silly, spooky. Just
I'm going to leave that up to you. And I'm going to describe it in 5, 4, 3, 2. Quarter human, quarter fly, quarter praying mantis, quarter ant.
This is like that
And
movie, but worse.
human shaped. It is
Oh,
an
God.
amalgamation, Quasimodo, wet character, and where the mouth is, there are pincers. And it looks at the door, it backs up really far from Piper, and it's just like, go away. Just go away. You can't. You don't want to be here. You've got to go. You've got to go. You can't be here, please. I know that they probably sent you. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. Please, you've got to go. And like one of the hands, which is like an ant hand, like it like tries to wave you off, but it just looks like it's a stick blowing in the wind because there's no fingers.
Is this where the magic, like, is this person where the magic is emanating from, or is it something in the room with them?
It's from the 5 jars on the dresser.
It's from the 5 jars on the dresser. Okay. I have a spell that I can break the magic, but it takes 30 minutes for me to cast, or we can just break the fucking jars.
That part.
Where does this?
Or why don't we
Hold
do
on.
both?
Where does the smell?
Just break the jars.
Where's the smell
It's
coming
too,
from?
Oh, I don't love that. I
Please,
don't love that you're
just
telling
break, just break the break. No, you don't understand.
magic.
It won't matter how the longer you stay, the more in danger you are. Just break the jars if you have to, but then you've got to go. Please, I'm
Where's
begging
this-
you. Don't stay here.
Where's the smell coming from?
So I'd imagine.
Are you asking? Are you asking the distraught amalgamation?
I'm
character?
asking. No, I'm asking you,
Oh,
Sir GM.
it's the smell you smelled. If it's not the dude, it's the stuff in the jars. The stuff in the jars has more of a tangy metallic scent. So if the stuff in the jars isn't like congealed blood, it's something very close to it. The jars are more welcoming in smell than whatever that. You're gonna go with dude because your mind can't seem to process it really. So you're gonna say the
Source of-
dude, the bug dude.
Yeah, he's gonna point at the jars. Source of grody smells. Not clean makes the grody smells worse.
The jars are the magic. It's where I saw the magic. That's what the magic is.
I'm down for neutralizing magic in a safe method, but I'm not a magic person, so I have no idea.
Like I
And
said,
we have people who are designed to kill things, so I'm not worried about danger. Are you? And I'm gonna look at the Slayer.
Danger? I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha.
so
I think we should go with
need
the.
30 minutes to do this if that's what we're doing. And I need to concentrate. So am I doing that, or are we
Can't-
breaking the jars?
You can't be here in 30 minutes. Please.
why
happened?
not? Why?
Because the longer you're here, the more in danger you are. I won't be able to stop myself. I can't stop myself.
From doing what?
I didn't want
Eating
to.
people?
I didn't want to. She's in my head and she kept saying things and I couldn't stop and it's the only thing
What
I've ever known and I feel so bad for them. Please,
What's
you've
your
got to go.
name?
I don't want to do this.
What's your name?
I don't have a name. They call me
I thought-
boy.
So they were going to say Aaron.
They call me boy.
If you would have told me this was Aaron, I would have gotten up and walked away for a few minutes. Just kidding.
No, it's not. It's not Aaron. I'm going to expressly
We
say
found the
it
other
is not
Slayer.
Aaron. It is not the previous Slayer transformed into a bug creature a la the Fly. This isn't a Jeff Goldblum scenario, at least not the Fly.
Is the stuff in the jars look like the stuff that they were trying to force the kids to drink?
No. It's not viscous enough for that. it looks to you it looks more like black wax in a jar than it does necessarily. But if you get close enough to the jars, you can see it's a liquid. But if you're like closer to the back of the room, it looks like it could be like wax in a jar or like yeah.
Does it look like the goo that Jason saw from the books?
That's an excellent question. Is it the goo?
Closer. It's
Closer to-
blacker because the goo that you've been seeing, Jason, is slightly more purple, just purple enough to be different from this. This is more just like weird matte black. Anish Kapoor can't handle what's in these jars, sort of thing. If these demonic jars are not for Anish Kapoor, nor for any representatives of Anish Kapoor.
Awesome.
Hashtag the meme.
Did you know he got T-Mobile to sue him too?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
The pink.
Yeah. So, are you going to attempt? Because I gotta tell you, this distraught Quasimodo bug dude, who's named Boy, apparently is begging you to leave. Like, not like just being like, please, you've got to go. I won't be able to stop myself.
What are we doing, guys? We need to figure
Piper.
it out. Yes.
Piper. Do you have any reason to think moving the jar somewhere else would cause a problem?
Do I have any reason to think?
If you so you could do I'll give you with a -2 unless you've stopped your curtain. Have you stopped curtain? Is curtain still going?
I stopped curtain.
Okay,
Now
so
that
you
I know
stopped
what the
curtain.
magic's
So
coming
I'll
from.
give you a willpower occultism to just like jars. Or you could try to jet aflame the jars right here, right now. Nothing bad would happen.
Trust you when you say that.
15. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Nothing under the jars. No like magical tray keeping them there. They're just the whatever's going on is emanating from the jars. It has a kind of actually a pleasant gold color. Really, the more you look at it, the more you're like, that's kind of nice in a way.
So
it's probably evil. But
I don't see any reason why we couldn't just take the jars and leave.
then
take
let's
the jars and leave.
take the jars
Take them and
somewhere else.
Please.
Chill, bro. Take the jars. We can do the 30 minutes you need somewhere where he's not freaking out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like a good plan.
And then we'll let Boy guy
Can we
stay
maybe
here.
stop calling him Boy?
He said that's what his name. I don't know what
that's
else.
what they called him. That's what they call him. Maybe we should give him a
the
name.
Mother gave me.
What would you like? Have you ever heard a name you really like?
I will
Why
have
don't you
Piper-
guys take the things while I'm trying to calm down the boy?
Okay.
Now you're calling him the boy.
No. This was more of an out of game thing. Like
Yeah.
she's giving you guys faces. Like get the fuck out. I will calm the boy down.
Okay.
And
Piper will start gathering up the jars and leaving the room and going back downstairs.
as you're leaving,
will-
you hear Fiona go, Aaron's a really nice name. I just
Boy is very distraught and goes, "Please, I don't want. Please, mother will get in my head again. Please,
No.
you have to go.
we're gonna
Please,
kill
you
Mother. So it's okay.
You can't kill mother."
Why not? I am very powerful. I'm very strong. This one over here is also kind of, he's a bit of a dick, but he's also very strong.
Comes with the territory.
Please,
Well, I mean, he wasn't given strength at
gets-
birth. He got this infection or something that he got along the way. It's fine. Like
Which is
he gets kind of furrier than usual. Anyway,
What do you call being a slayer?
she'll
it's not
just
an
be.
infection.
She'll just be in my head. She'll just be in my head, and then I won't have any control, and then I'll hurt you.
Nope, you will not
Then I'll
hurt me.
wake
I
up.
promise.
And there'll be stuff on my pincers, and it's just I never
Nope.
wanted to hurt anyone.
Oh,
I came out of the egg, and
You're
here
not
I
gonna
am. And I
hurt
hate this.
She used him to do the stuff to the bodies.
He's like full on having a panic attack and weeping at this point. By the way,
I
like
figured.
by the way, yeah, it's like an inconsolability thing.
I can promise you that you will not hurt me. I will make sure of it. I am much stronger than I look. I know I'm tiny. I know. But I'm much stronger than I look.
Out of character, if anyone has any veils triggers with like loss of life or things like that, let me know if this is too far and I'll pull back and we can take it off the recording.
No.
But he look at you and Fiona and says, would you, if you're strong enough, would... He doesn't seem to have the language for things he's asking. He ends up saying, would you kill me?
Why don't we leave that as a last resort?
All I've ever known is mother, and I don't want to hurt anybody else, but I'll hurt you.
We have some pretty powerful people on our team. We might be able to... Maybe there's some kind of spell?
She's everywhere. She's in my head. She's everywhere. I'm going to hurt someone else. I don't want to hurt anybody anymore.
Like I said, let's make that a last resort. If we have to. It's not your fault that you were born like this. I don't want to kill you because of how you were born.
I ran away, and she was in my head. I thought if I left, I thought if I walked out onto the farm, it would be different. But she was there in my head, and then I came across that poor kid, and then he took me back to the room at the bottom of the house, and everything smelled like apples, and when I came to, he was just gone in his recliner, and he just starts like blubbering, and he can't seem to give any details, but it's definitely what happened to the guy that Simon and Jason found.
She's just gonna... Yeah. She's gonna look at Simon like... I don't...
Bethany, where did you go?
I am actually outside the door, but watching this, and I'm actually wondering if I can help him. And
I'd be able to.
no, you don't understand.
I clearly don't. What am I missing?
Can I look at him and see if I could do anything to help him?
You can.
So what roll do I need to do to figure that out?
So this will be a pure psychometry roll. I will tell you.
Yeah.
Use of strong magic, especially yours, does come with a cost.
Oh, crap.
Oh boy. Yeah.
But you have your psychometry roll, and so you can roll it to see if it succeeds. This is the person who literally you got a vision from without touching them.
It's true, but if I can help him, if he needs to pass, I can help him. If I can keep him from having to pass, I don't know how that works. Then again, Mom has been really light on details.
Probably one of those things she hoped you'd never have to do.
Please just go.
If you have
I just don't want to hurt anyone.
If you have to do that thing that he's asking, I can make sure he gets to heaven. So you have to tell me, are you going to do what he asks or not?
I'd like to see if the ritual works first before we resort to something like that.
I want that to be a last resort. I do.
Okay.
I mean, I if we have to, but if we can avoid that, I mean, it's can't be good karma to kill somebody who doesn't want to be a
Then we
monster.
should close the door, leave him in there, let Piper do what she has to do, and figure it out.
Okay, that's a good plan. So
I mean,
she's.
Piper's already doing what she's doing because
Is there any way you can make him like? I don't know how your powers work. Is there any way for you to like calm him at all before we leave? Are you giggling? What did I say?
Don't, it's fine. Don't worry
I
about
don't.
Jason, are you in the room hearing this
it. No,
exchange?
I
Or-
100% would have helped
Did
Piper
you-
to remove the jars, and I'm assuming it didn't take us this
Oh.
entire conversation's worth of time to
I mean, I imagine
no.
this conversation is like a good minute long.
Yeah, so no, I don't imagine it took us very long to grab the jars and go wherever it is we end up going.
I'm just clearly missing shit along the way. That's what I do.
That's okay. And to be fair, Bethany's not actually being very clear about what she means.
Okay, maybe that's a good thing then. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down as far as like you will kill him. You can psychically kill him or shut his brain down or something. No, okay. I'm not getting any of it. It's fine.
You have
I'm
to.
pretty sure she's saying she can do a ritual so that he doesn't get punished for something that is outside of his control. You know, not all of us are cursed.
That's correct, essentially. Yes.
And then I would kill him after that, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, let's leave that as plan B. I will if I have to. I'm not opposed to killing things, clearly. But I just have an issue killing somebody who has no control over what they're doing and hasn't made any choices that have led them to this. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go out. I'm gonna look at. I just want to call him Aaron. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna look at the boy and
Call him
just
Tim.
say, you know, in my brain, he's the ugliest person on the planet, so I'm gonna call him Steve.
I agree with that name, and yes.
That's Carson's dad's name. So anyway, I like this plan. Oh no, it's just I just needed like a generic name. I'm struggling to come up with anything creative right now. So if we had to give you a name instead of being the boy or boy, that feels very demeaning.
Well,
you have some humanness to you. No, you have some humanness to you. So we'll give you a human name. And
not what Luke said.
Luke?
I'm sorry.
I mean, when I came out of the egg and they started training me, and they said I was going to do great things, Luke made sure I knew who I was.
First of all, Luke's a dick, but also tell me, what does Luke look like?
Tall as me when I'm not like this.
Tall as he?
So he's kind of stooped, but like if he like raised up to height, he would be
like 6'2",
6'2", 6'3". He'd be very impressive and very frightening. Black hair. Face is, I guess scary. Scary is the word. Very
like wrinkly right here.
Wrinkles, yeah.
Very like broad jaw, kind of.
Yeah.
Big shoulder.
Yeah. Has a hole. Has a hole in his chest.
Oh. Cool.
He shouldn't be alive. That's a story for another day. So Steve, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna leave you in here. We're gonna shut the door. We're gonna go outside.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna be right outside. If you need me, just let me. My name is Buff.
Oh, so close. So close. Oh man, so close. That was great. So close. You're just manifesting it. That's going to be a problem when you discover that vampires are real in our world. You're just manifesting it at this point.
Um, my name is Fiona. I'll be right outside. If you need me, just yell for me. And yeah, we just got it. We're just gonna go chat for a second. We had to talk, and so like, get the fuck go, like pushing you out of the door.
Is
And
anyone
shut it-
staying in the room?
No,
Nah.
no.
Okay.
Get, and she's gonna shut the door. And
You hear like the sound of soft weeping is going to like tone this conversation,
guy.
just like behind the door. It's got a very like Norman Bates psycho quality to it, but without the weird misogyny, homophobia. But it's very, very tortured soul Quasimodo Frollo vibes. Would not be incorrect here.
Okay.
Everything but singing out there while on top of a bell tower with fabulous 90s hair. Everything but that.
He's got Brendan Fraser hair.
But as you're considering your conversation, I will let you know, Piper, it does not take you half an hour in the ritual. Like, as soon as you start setting up your sand that you need to do for it,
Well, I have a
the
question
magic
about
starts.
that.
Yeah.
So when I'm reading this spell, it's actually the preparation of the powder that takes 30 minutes. Once the powder is ready, the spell itself only takes a few seconds. On my sheet, before we got here, we were like writing down what we're taking with us. I wrote down that I have enough prepared spell components for all of my spells. So could I say I had already created the powder, so the spell itself doesn't actually take 30 minutes? Or
There is a reason the spell takes 30 minutes
okay.
here. You just don't know. But
Oh,
as you set up the sand and you start like, this should take 30 minutes, the sand depowers at about the 5-minute mark. So by the time upstairs they're doing whatever they're doing, your moon sand feels like it starts taking the magic out of what's ever in these jars, leaving them to be like this weird congealed blood, and it's not cool and kind of gross, but it actually took less than 30 minutes for whatever was supposed to happen here for you to like dispel it.
Well, that's odd.
What's odd? I don't know enough about what's happening.
We've only been out here for what, like 5 minutes or so, right?
He'll take a quick look at his watch. Like, yeah, about 5 minutes, something like that.
The spell's done. It's completed, which is very odd.
Didn't you say 30 minutes?
Yeah, I did. That's what it normally takes.
So was this like a, you say it's gonna take 30, so that when it only takes a little while, you got that
No.
extra little. No, okay, it's not that situation.
No, it normally takes 30 minutes and I have to like actually concentrate and have quiet. But no, this is done. Look at it. It looks like blood now, like congealed. It's gross.
Yeah, no, that looks like congealed blood. Don't ask me why I know that.
I don't know why you know that.
It very obviously, like, if you've been to a place where they make Filipino adobo, because they use pig's blood for it in, like, ice cube form, like, it literally looks like it's pre-adobo, essentially.
Well, alrighty then. So, like, it's done as in they're not magic anymore and we're good, or something's gone terribly awry and I should start running? Because I'm going to need a head start if there's any running that needs to happen.
Difference there.
The magic is gone from the jars, but I don't know that. I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay.
Your sand has turned black, by the way.
Does it normally do that?
No.
Damn it. That happened to my salt.
Yeah, it looks like your salt. I was just about to say, it looks exactly like what happened to your salt.
With the same purple sheen, too?
A little different, a little darker, but also ink has a different color value than blood.
That's true. See, that is the same color that happened to all of the salt I put the rose petals into, and then all of my books lost, well, not all of them, some of them, pages got removed from my book.
What?
It had, like, ink and...
What
Yeah, no,
creature does that to a book?
I know, that's what I was saying earlier. This is some bullshit, real specific curse, and I'm not for it. Anyways, the point I think I'm getting to is that means it's probably Mother's fault.
I think all of this is probably her fault. It's
Well,
just
yeah,
a
no,
thought.
in a general sense, yes. But this is like a specific.
Mother's fault, like she knows that we're here and we're fucking with her shit, and we should probably leave, or
I mean, probably leave is always a great idea, I think, in this sort of situation. Also, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say he's probably still a terrifying bug abomination up there.
God, I hope not. I mean, I guess
Yeah, upstairs. I mean, downstairs you can't hear it, but upstairs it's just like someone back and forth, just not begging to be offed by any stretch of the imagination, but very much like there's a timer, but they don't know what the timer is. This is like a Hitchcock film moment, essentially. So I'm giving you like, if you've never seen a Hitchcock film, Hitchcock is one where it's called a Hitchcock bomb, essentially, where there is a timer, but no one knows quite when it's going to go off. That
But
is
it's
the very
always gonna
vibe you're getting.
No, did we
See-
lose Katie again?
Yeah, are we
No, I'm
pausing?
here. No,
Ah,
I'm
so-
here. I'm adjusting some things. We're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
I don't know. I have a few theories on what's happening, and like the most problematic one is that somehow whatever she's doing is, I guess the best metaphor is denser, and therefore normal purifying agents, or in this case something that would be draining the energy, just get like filled up too fast. But if that's what's happening, we are in like so incredibly much trouble, because that means she's got like just so much extra magic that it just overwhelms normal protections. And I'm really hoping I'm wrong about that, but
yeah, I'm hoping that you're wrong. Should we keep these jars so that we can like study them, or should we just leave them here?
I mean, I definitely want to, but if they're still full of evil bug transformation magic, it seems like something maybe we come back for later.
When's a good time for us to have, basically exited to get an idea of what's going on with the ritual?
So essentially now, I want you to make a choice. I rolled a 6. In 6 combat rounds, Mother is going to take over Steve, who you've named Steve. His name's At Power. In 6 combat turns, a decision will be made, and information you potentially need might go by the wayside. Potentially. So you have 6 combat turns to make a decision about what is important to you. Fiona, we know that you value life. That we've learned. Bethany, you know this creature is in great pain. And though there's a human part of them, they have pincers and they've done some incredible damage. And they are psychically just wow. Piper, your magic is being messed with. Jason, you're under some kind of weird curse. And Simon, knowing there's a whole bunch of magic flinging about, you're good at controlling yourself, but with magic, all bets are off. And if this thing is strong under Mother's control, you have to make the ultimate choice and potentially have other people view you as a monster.
So he does or does not come into the room. That point.
So the doors upstairs are all closed. The door to the front door is off its hinges. There's no doors downstairs. Basically, Piper, there was like a kind of big living room space with not much furniture in it, where you set the jars on like the table to do your ritual because it's better than the floor. But yeah, there's not really a space where unless you like magic up a door. There's
Right.
no
So my
space.
question is, have have we found out that the ritual ended way earlier than it was supposed to?
That's up to Piper. Are you or Jason? Because you're right there. Are you being like, "That's not great"? And how loud were you saying it? I guess.
Well, if Simon's coming into the room, it'd be like, "Hey, Simon, is he still a big bug monster up there?"
I mean, last I checked, yeah.
Damn.
Cool. It didn't work then.
I mean, no, that is incorrect. It did work. The magic is gone from these jars. That's what I was trying to do.
That's true. Fair enough. You do have to be precise in these sort of things. The ritual was a success, ahead of schedule even. It just didn't do what we were hoping it would do.
Yeah.
In fact, I have no idea what those jars were doing.
It was supposed to distract you.
Sorry, what?
GM, how long does it take me to do my thing?
Not long, because it's based on touch and willpower. So essentially, the rolls happen in sequence.
Fee, I need you to protect me. I
Okay.
need to go in there, and I need to do it now.
Okay.
And I open the door. And is he still crying?
He's kind of like nested himself against the bed, and he looks up at you and goes, "I just don't want to hurt anybody anymore. Luke they just want me to hurt people."
I'm going to help you. And I'm going to reach out my hand and put it on his shoulder. As I'm going to look back at Fee and be like, just protect me.
Yeah, I don't know, but I will do whatever I have to do.
I will.
All right.
I've got one.
Roll.
As soon as I touch, I will start my thing.
Yep. Roll psychometry.
Oh, God, this is going
Take.
to. I am going to throw in.
Why does this make me so anxious?
You know what? I am going to throw in 2 drama points for this one.
Okay.
You don't want to go too high.
I know.
Remember,
I know.
going into well,
But
I mean, you can go as high as you want.
I mean, that
No, I
starts
know.
you at 20.
yeah, it starts you at 20. Because if you're using it
no.
beforehand, that's a plus 10.
Oh, that's her. No, this isn't in the middle of
Oh.
combat.
Right. This is the other thing.
This is 5
Ah,
because that gives me plus 10 to my D10 plus my willpower crime plus 4, so 14 plus 7, 21.
21. All right. Give me that willpower plus perception.
How do I help her, by the way? I don't know how to help her.
Perception.
You're just standing there right now because it's also instructions were vague for a reason.
Yeah.
Piper
7,
downstairs. The jars break.
16.
Bethany, have you ever seen Sunnydale?
I've lived here all my life, so yeah, I have seen Sunnydale.
Great. The only way to describe what you see, your mind uses the word canyon.
Mm.
Because it's the color of canyon. It's kind of orange and dark. Very dark, actually. It's just a whole bunch of torches along a wall. You've never done this before, so you don't actually know how strong this is, and you're not sure what you're saying. Sunnydale flips upside down as you're looking at it, like a postcard upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the whole city as though you're flying over it in a helicopter. And you see that overplayed with the sinkhole it became.
Right.
And then you start moving in a direction toward Ocean Heights. You come to this farm just on the outskirts of town, and there's a silo. There's a doorway and a crack in the silo leads down to a chamber where a whole bunch of eggs were busted. Piper, you start crying downstairs. You don't know why.
Okay.
Oh no.
Bethany, you're not sure what you're saying. Steve looks at you and goes, gift. And then Steve starts crying black tears.
Ah.
And he goes, gift. Creation. And you just feel the strength leaving Steve's body. Bethany, you are now crying because you're getting this image of Sunnydale, and all of a sudden, everything you knew about Sunnydale looks like a canyon. Like it's been recreated, but wrong. And Steve just starts chanting the word mother over and over and over again. And just the second before something good happened, Fiona, I want you to roll dexterity for me, plus fast
Oh,
reaction.
I was so close to saving him.
Okay. Real quick, fast reaction, I don't understand how it works because it doesn't have like a number.
Oh. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the Slayer stuff.
Just
So
kind of
fast reaction is basically it's added from whatever your Slayer level is.
okay, and I'm what? The level 1?
Yeah. I'm gonna say you're level 3 actually.
Fast
Okay.
reaction gives a +1 to a power test to resist fear, and a +5 bonus for initiative purposes.
All right, so let's have you do dexterity. I'll have you do dexterity plus kung fu. Because then that'll be attribute plus skill, which is the usual for this. That's what we'll do.
Alright. So that's a 12 to start. And then so Eric's trusty dice. And Spotify's in the way now, so that's lovely. Yeah, Eric's trusty dice just gave me a 10, so that's a 22 total.
22.
That's why these Norse Foundry dice are so
Yeah.
good.
So good. North Foundry. We just really like their
we love
dice. We're not
them.
sponsored yet.
No, not yet. That'd be an easy sponsor.
So Bethany is doing essentially a ritual spell. You don't know what it is. There's a whole bunch of power flying in the room. You don't even it's not something that you have a verb for. It's probably something you could find something comparable for in the Slayer Diary, but it's nothing that you have any idea about. It looks like he was going to go to sleep, essentially. But you see it, as Bethany can't, and like the man arm on Steve almost seems to lunge for Bethany's neck, but you get there in time, and when you touch it, the arm dissolves into black goo as Steve cries out for mother, and then just collapses out of exhaustion. Bethany,
Okay.
the last thing you get is the touch goes away because they collapse. You get a picture of a baseball bat stuck to one of those canyon walls.
The hell does that mean?
What are you seeing?
I see Sunnydale Reborn. The canyon.
Like the crater?
No. Sunnydale. And I don't know. I didn't succeed. I didn't save him. And there was a silo with broken eggs and a farm on the outskirts of town. And it feels like there's some connection between that silo and the farm and what happened in Sunnydale. But I don't understand. And I didn't save him. Don't understand.
What were you were trying to? How do you know you did? I mean,
It was there and then it was gone. I know what happens when it succeeds.
How to do this before?
Once.
Fiona, you know why it didn't succeed. It's because Mother interfered. Because you saw that hand reach up and you reacted to it because you know what it looks like when something bad is reaching up for someone's throat.
I don't. It wasn't your fault. You know, he was reaching at you. That wasn't him.
But I got the image of everything that Sunnydale, and then Sunnydale upside down, and then Sunnydale almost traveling to Ocean Shores.
Heights, Ocean Heights.
Sorry,
That's
there's an Ocean
the,
Shores near me.
No,
Ocean
you're fine.
Heights. Ocean Heights. I don't. Whatever happened to Sunnydale is happening here. Like everything is happening here. It's being recreated here.
That's bad. That's really bad. Because Sunnydale's a Hellmouth, or was a Hellmouth.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it's the mouth
Why
of hell.
would that-
Literally the mouth of hell. Like, that's where things come out of hell and do their hellish nonsense.
So what does it mean that my baseball bat ended up stuck to the canyon wall?
That was not your baseball bat.
Oh, it's not mine. Oh, thank God.
You always get another baseball bat. You just go to the sporting store.
No, this baseball bat had writing on it, Bethany.
What was the writing?
Louisville Slugger.
What?
Nothing.
Piper, what writing did Aaron have on his baseball bat?
I can't remember. I knew that it was his bat when you said that, but I can't remember what was on the side of it.
Yeah. So Bethany, it looked like someone had written something, but it was handwriting you couldn't decipher. And I'm gonna say as GM Progatives, famously because Aaron's handwriting is just not very good.
18-year-old boys don't tend to have great handwriting, so
I can scratch out the images or the basic lines as soon as I get a hold of paper or something. But
can you DM me what the bat said? Because I genuinely don't remember. I knew that.
I don't think we ever actually discussed it, so that's something
okay.
for you to decide as well.
Okay.
I think he might have told me in passing, but I can't really recall.
okay.
um,
But I know that we have to find that silo.
and there was no so what you saw Sunnydale upside down first, and then you saw the silo?
I saw Sunnydale. There were a lot of images.
Fair.
I started with Sunnydale,
Mm-hmm.
and Sunnydale upside down, then Sunnydale as the canyon, and then there was the farm, and then the silo, and the silo had broken eggs in it.
So, was there any movement from Sunnydale to the silo, or were they just
There was movement. There was. It was a light. It was an orange light.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense. These are images. These are interpretations. I mean, I know he said gift.
Yeah.
Steve said gift to me twice, and he said something else, but I don't remember what.
Creation.
Yeah.
Creation. Something was given something as a gift to create something.
I mean, eggs are kind of
Or a
a
sacrifice.
metaphor for creation
Or a sacrifice.
with the broken. Do we know it?
Simon, or
What?
Simon, I want you to give me I want you to give me a perception notice roll, Simon, as you are downstairs and close enough to look out the front door.
I got a 16.
The 16. Great. There are nighttime bugs, and they are walking in formation in a direction, and you know they are moving. They're avoiding lawns. They're on like the sidewalk, which is weird. They're moving north towards the apartment that you found that body at.
The one I found the body at? The one
you and Jason together examined this body and then brought others to.
Right, so the dude that was on the couch.
The dude that was in the recliner. The plaid
Heads
recliner.
up, bugs are on the move again.
Piper's gonna wipe the tears from her face and pull out a pocket knife from her bag and a spell jar, and she's gonna scoop up some of the inside, like the congealed blood from the jar that burst, and put it in and cork it just so she.
All the jars burst.
Right, but is the goopy
here.
stuff still there?
Yeah, it's very kind of standalone-y. It's very goopy and very heavy.
Yeah, she's just gonna scoop up just a little bit, just enough to put to keep a sample in a spell jar and cork it and put both of them back in her bag.
Did you ever have gack as a kid?
The wettest slime
it has
ever.
Like the viscosity of gack. Hashtag only 90s kids will. Yeah, kids remember.
I loved it, but I hated it at the same time. It was a really weird love-hate thing.
I had apple cinnamon scented gack, and it did not smell very good.
That sounds terrible.
So, Fiona, while you and Bethany are talking, Fiona, you hear this just because you're kind of tuned into some crisis thing is happening right now, definitely. And you hear Simon say from downstairs, bugs are on the move. Again.
Yep, his exact words were, heads up, bugs are on the march again.
News of the world, bugs on the march!
It's go marching on and on.
So, Piper, I just had a concerning thought. Have you ever heard about someone using living creatures like, say, bugs to sketch out, the lines for, a circle?
Oh, God.
Would I have ever heard of this? Just because we're so close to Sunnydale, and she's lived here her whole life, so she knows of the weirdness in Sunnydale. Would she have heard of anything like that happening before?
I mean, you heard a story about like a door-to-door salesman that was like maybe made of bugs from one girl that was like super into makeup. But it was just in passing, and then they graduated, and it just seemed, you'd heard rumors that there was like one teacher that like tried to eat a kid, but they were like a mummy. They weren't like a bug that you know of.
Not that I can recall. But I mean, we can always go back to the watcher's room and go through Carrie's books and her journals, and maybe there's something in there.
I mean, it was just a terrible, concerning thought. Because if that's true, then that might mean a thing is happening like
Now.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going back to the place where we found the guy on the recliner.
Oh, cool. So one of the points that we sketched out. Cool.
The north point towards the farmlands.
So if they're doing something, I mean, we're right smack in the middle of that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know if you are, but in the middle of giant ritual sounds bad.
We need to get to that silo.
What silo?
I'll explain on the way. Anybody else want to drive?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm kind of done with walking.
No, it's my. I just don't want to drive my car right now because I'm one really tired, two kind of shaken.
Yeah,
Three,
it's fair.
have a whole lot. Of
I got it. I'll drive.
By the way, your mom did pack supplies in case you became exhausted, just in case. So you do have like not a bento box. I don't know what they would have been in that time period. Let's say it's like whatever the equivalent to like the bento box thing, like your mom
A
packed like your
lunchbox.
favorite.
It's a lunchbox or Tupperware.
It's some kind of Tupperware that it was already kind of from like spaghetti colored, but it's not spaghetti. It's
like
just
a
whatever
Cool
you
Whip
wanted.
container. Cool Whip container.
And a country crock.
Yes.
They don't make.
Oh my god!
Great. Japan
Country
gets
crock
very
butter.
fancy. Bento boxes. We get country crock and spaghetti
Those
Tupperware.
country crock things last forever.
No,
Cool
my
Whip.
mom probably wouldn't do that. She probably actually has very
She
much
probably has,
matching everything.
They
Pyrex.
have nice Tupperware. It's
she
not
has
Tupperware.
Pyrex.
It's like nicer. It's like
The Pyrex and
Pyrex.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
pampered chef type stuff.
Oh, she's 100% a pampered chef, Mama.
Yeah.
Your mother also did, by the way, you can smell this, Simon. It's the best smell you've smelled all night.
That's
Bethany,
low
you
bar.
might not realize this.
Yeah.
There is a secret compartment where your mother put a whole bunch of garlic in one side and a big pan of like sealed brownies so they wouldn't have garlic smell on them. There's like a secret compartment in your Saturn that your mom put some stuff in for you for everybody.
Why did I not smell chocolate before? Where's
I
I
had
smell
milk in it.
chocolate?
Yes, it was
really
very
good
sealed.
Pyrex. It's really good Pyrex.
It was really good.
Can you
Pyrex,
have
but,
chocolate?
Oh!
Yes.
What? I don't know.
Wow, that's racist. That is racist.
How am I supposed to
Where
know
was
if I
the
don't
chocolate?
ask?
Less arguing, more in the car. Here, have a brownie.
Make sure we have like
okay.
I'll make sure we
What
have
a
the
hell
veterinarian's number on speed dial.
Yeah, like
You do realize I am like human right now by choice,
I
right?
didn't say it out loud. Just
Somebody explain what a hellmouth is to me.
it's literally
Oh,
the mouth
bad.
of hell. Like it is what it sounds like. It's the mouth of hell. It is an open portal that not always open, but it can be opened and it can let shit
love the
out of
image of
hell.
Piper like raising her hand too. I love that.
No, yeah, that's exactly what she did. Why are you asking that? Can I, that's concerning.
excellent follow-up question.
Okay.
I'm with her.
So, and she will, as close to as possible, explain her vision of Sunnydale upside down, the canyon, the moving, the orange light, the Steve
So-
saying gift creation, the broken eggs, the
name we named Bug Boy Steve. So
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
everything. And like she basically lays it out, and then she ends with, and then there was a bat stuck to the canyon wall.
Did you what?
A
Like-
bat with writing on it, and I need.
Okay, so like a
She pulls
baseball
out a-
bat, not
she
like
pulls out
the
a pad of
animal
paper
a
and
bat.
pen and hands it to you. Here.
And she just sort of closes her eyes and kind of tries to sketch what the letters were or the marks were that she saw.
I'm not gonna make you do a roll. But yeah, it's yeah, now Piper, you're pretty sure why you cried. Because that's Aaron's weapon of choice against the darkness.
I did send
And
Chris
it's
a message, by
currently-
the way, to ask if he remembers what
Okay.
he put on the bat, but I haven't heard back
Yes.
from him yet.
Yeah.
I don't know that you will, because if he's where he normally is right now, he's probably
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fine. But yes, it is. Yeah, you know the handle of the bat because you know how he taped it because it was kind of his own ritual of preparing, getting him ready. And it is currently stuck in that weird white hay webby stuff in the wall next to some broken opened eggs from where these bug creatures were apparently born.
Did you see anybody else around this in your vision?
I didn't see any people. This happened in the past. I don't know. I don't know what came out of the eggs. I don't know what he meant by gift, and creation. I didn't even get to say them. It was interrupted. I didn't.
And you're sure
I
this was
lost
the
them.
past? You're sure this couldn't be maybe the future that we can stop?
Considering Sunnydale is currently a canyon, I think I th-
Technically, there was a gas leak, so technically, it's like a upside down mesa. Really, is what it is.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what I saw. It didn't give me a timeline. But I have the feeling that they're trying to recreate Sunnydale. Literally recreate it
Well, shit.
in their
Really
image
bad.
or some wrong image.
That's really bad.
All right.
There's a
Also,
reason why it's part of the
apparently,
theater
Luke
now.
is alive and has a hole in
Yeah,
him like
what?
Swiss
Yeah,
cheese.
no, yeah, 100%. By the way, Luke's alive. And he has
Okay.
a. So who was there when I talked about Luke and who Luke is? I know the girls were. Were you guys here for that?
No, as I recall, that was when we were at our own little spot for it. You guys hadn't met up with us again, if I remember what happened yet.
Okay, cool. So 7 years ago, Buffy dusted a vamp named Luke. He's a big guy with big broad shoulders, big jaw, girl face situation. He literally dusted, like dead. They do not come back from that. There's not a thing that they're allowed to come back from. Apparently, he did. This is also really, really bad because he served with this really old vampire called the Master. So, like, if Luke's back and he was just a peon, like, imagine the Master could potentially also come back. That would be really, really bad. And, like, I don't know what to do with this information.
Bethany, you know who the Master is. There's like 3 books on the Master.
Panicking is not a thing Slayers are supposed to do, but here we are.
Who are you driving, Fee?
No. Simon is. I'm not driving. I'm stimming.
Yeah.
I basically I'm like, don't just okay. Yeah, I've heard of the Master. The Master?
He's bad.
That's bad. We have like 3 books on him.
He killed Buffy the first time. That's how she's dead. She died because of him. That's how Kendra came along. That's how the whole thing went in motion. That's how we.
Just
one problem at a time. But like,
yeah.
I think Luke is the problem. I'm just saying, like.
Well, Mother is also a problem, and yes, they are somehow connected.
And
we got no idea how. We got no idea where. We know
like
some clues about Mother, though.
And opened eggs.
12 missing students?
Well, that's not even counting my friends. That's just
so
students that were missing after my friends.
Oh, this is not great. This is bad. This is really bad, guys. This is bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be panicking. I should be.
If you, I will say, because it doesn't take as long to get out to the farmlands, because I want to make sure we get to a thing. So I am railroading a little bit. You know how when you leave the city and there's the intense vacuum of nothing around you where there should be noise in the evening? As you pull up to kind of the farm space and Bethany, you're like, stop the car! This is where we're supposed to go. Because you can see the silo, so you kind of know where to stop. There are no cars on the road. There are no cows, no horses, but you hear the sound of bugs as
Oh.
they are marching. And as you get out of the vehicle, because you will eventually need to do that, the bugs are moving toward the silo.
Oh God.
All
And we have
right.
to get in there.
So Simon was driving, keeping his calm. Once Fee gets out of the car, he's gonna like walk up, put his hands on both of her shoulders, and shake her really hard. Look at me. Look at me.
Um,
All right. Where are you?
Shaken,
sorry?
not stirred.
What are you?
I'm a Slayer. I'm the Slayer.
Right. You are the Slayer. You're the one that we have now. Didn't Buffy deal with these before? Are you less than Buffy? Huh?
Am I less
Are
than
you?
Buffy?
Yes.
I'm
Are
sorry.
you?
She's the greatest Buffy. She's the greatest Buffy. She's the greatest
He is
Slayer of
also
all
the greatest
time.
Buffy. There's no other
Yeah.
Buffys. Like Buffy
There
is
are,
not.
but we don't, well, no.
Uh-huh.
Other than, we
So-
don't talk about the movie.
So what you're gonna do then is you're gonna let somebody else's legacy define you. You're not gonna
I mean-
overcome, be better. You're not gonna do more.
Have you read what she's done, man? Like, it's
Absolutely not.
a lot. Great.
I have not
she,
read what she's
saved,
done.
She saved the world. She died 3 times.
And this is your chance.
to die?
This is your chance. Save the world. Right now. This is you. This is where you step up. This is where you prove that you're a Slayer for a reason. This is where you prove that you're a Slayer because you matter, not because somebody else came before you. God, why do I sound like my own coach? This is where you step up. Step up or don't. If you're not going to step up, move out of my way. I have a little brother I have to take care of, and if I have to go werewolf all over this entire city just to be able to get shit done,
Can you do that? Like, you just like
Yes.
turn it on like that?
yes.
You can wolf out?
Why do you think I'm not a wolf now? And he points at the moon.
Oh, that's fair.
By the way, as you're doing this motivational speech, as you are a werewolf with acute senses, this silence is deafening and oppressive. And it is almost as bad as the smell from earlier. Like, you are used to hearing noise, and the absence of noise, like, the absence of noise is worse than, like, background noise that you can tune out. This is...
So the only thing he can hear is the march of insect feet.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Now, I hear something that none of the rest of you can hear, and it's really unsettling. I'd like to make sure we fix the issue. The only thing I can hear is bugs walking on
Shut up.
gravel.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
So,
Shut up,
step up
shut up,
or get out of the way.
shut up. She's just like closing her eyes, and you can feel her body just tensing
Yeah, Simon,
while you're holding onto her.
you did good. Just let her.
She's just like breathing in real deep, lets it out, and she just pushes you away from her.
So
I'm
Well-
good.
Okay.
while
back.
they're doing that, Jason's gonna look over at Piper. It's like, are you good? Do you need a speech?
Are you
good?
also in need of a yellow crayon speech?
Like, are
That's
we
thing
good?
we need to do.
Piper, you are very distracted.
Yeah, she is. She's very distracted. In fact, I don't even think she's out of the car. I think she's still sitting in the car, like just kind of lost in her own thoughts. She doesn't even realize that we stopped.
Yeah, also, whenever someone tries to get you out of the car, it kind of feels like you're in like the most humid air you've ever been in. You're not gonna have to even roll a cult. Bethany, you don't feel this for a particular reason, but like Piper, like it's gonna be like walking through Jello
Mhm.
until you're at the silo.
When Jason, I'm assuming because she's still in the car, he like knocks on the window and gets her attention. She'll get out of the car, and it's almost like she's not necessarily struggling to breathe, but it's like the air is thick to her. It just everything around her feels heavy, and she's almost like panting, even though she's not moving, just because everything it feels thick and heavy around her. I'm good. Let's just go.
Sure.
Yeah, let's just go.
Do we as we're walking? I'm like, do we have a plan, or is it a get 'em Ray thing?
I mean,
Oh, what?
Get 'em, Ray.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It's Ghostbusters.
Have you never seen
Oh,
Ghostbusters?
it's just been a minute. It's been a while. Sorry.
it means we have no plan and we're just gonna like do stuff until something happens.
Oh, improvising. I can do that. I'm real good at that.
There is one thing I'd like to check for real quick. It's a silo and so this is
You are approaching the silo. Also, you don't have to be a werewolf. It's creepy. It's nighttime in farmland, but there's nothing. No noise except for the only noise is what Simon can hear, which is the crunching of the bug feet as you're approaching the silo. There's like an abandoned house that no one lives in. Like there's like a cow, but it's like a carcass that's far away, not moving, just kind of like there. It is the most silence you can hear, and it is just deafening, and it feels wrong, and you hate it.
cool. While we're on the way to the silo, do I spot anything along the lines of like a barn, a shed, anything that would have been like where people would have kept things for outside work and all that?
It's behind the silo, so you can't really see it. Like, you're pretty sure it's there, and in the daytime you would have it, but like as you approach the silo, it's like with the silo was built next to it, so like one thing.
Okay, so when we
And
get
just-
closer, I'd
yeah.
be able to see it.
Yeah, and just like we started the episode, we're not ending the episode yet. We still have about 10 minutes to get you where you need to go. So I'm trying to get you there. The door to the silo is also closed.
I think this one I'm okay with fire.
Bugs, I'm fine with lighting them on fire. I realize, like, after the
Okay.
whole, like, let's say bug boy thing, that seems a little weird, but I'm fine with actual bugs being lit on fire. Thanks.
I mean, I feel like when we set that on fire, we're gonna have problems. So let's show things that we're serious. He's gonna like take off his jacket, like throw it over Piper's shoulders because she's the only one who's probably not gonna be running around swinging a weapon. It's like, hold on to this for me, and then he's gonna go ahead and like turn on the werewolf.
Is it like a Letterman jacket?
Yes, it's a Letterman jacket.
When
Why didn't
she
you
looks
leave
at
it?
it, and she's like, does not go with my outfit at all.
Why didn't you just leave it in the car?
I didn't think I'd be wolfing out here.
Why not?
We will be.
She does actually like put it on though, and like pull up the sleeves because it's probably too big for her.
Definitely.
I'm a fan of this. Also, something really important is going to happen in this moment, and I'm just looking up to see what I need for this. What do you plan to do after you've wolfed out before I declare the important thing that may or may not happen?
Well, as far as he's concerned, wolfing out is like turns everything up to 11.
Yes.
So he's actually going to like smell the air, like see if he notices anything unusual.
Great. Give me a dexterity plus acrobatics.
Dexterity plus acrobatics. All right.
Oh yes. Everything is unusual, but in the air, by the way. But there's one specific unusual thing that you smell. But dexterity plus acrobatics.
Yeah, to dodge the smell.
Oh god, I would fail that so
I got a
hard.
20.
Got a 20. Great. So it's definitely in the silo. You're mostly sure it's in the silo. The dexterity acrobatics was you basically deciding what happens after that. Because you're being beckoned by a smell. It's a pheromone.
Oh my god.
And you go
Pheromone.
crashing through the door. What the 20 means, when you go crashing through the opposite wall, you open up the crack and you go sliding down into the chamber where Steve was born. It takes you a bit of a slide to get there, by the way. And you slide and tumble, and in your wolfy form, when you come up and you look around, you are in a underground canyon chamber with broken eggs, gooey stuff on the floor, a whole bunch of bugs, and on the wall on one side there is white sticky stuff along the wall, and then one of those has a bat with words on it. And I'll just let you think about being in this room. Everyone else, you just watched a werewolf go crashing through a silo, and there was darkness. So he has not said, "Come in."
You think he meant to do that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to point out, John, just one little thing. If at the end of this I find out that all of my friends are dead, just remember
It's a
you're
Sixth
playing-
Sense scenario. You were all dead
Remember,
already.
you're also
all
playing
the time.
Cthulhu as
you're
a
playing in my
player.
Call of Cthulhu game. So just keep that in mind.
Are we in the
As
same
it
one?
stands right now, I will give you this as the GM. It stands right now. You have all of the chances of survival, depending upon the choices that you make.
Oh, cool. We're dead then.
You don't
I've
know.
seen the choices I make.
I guess we need to go in there after him.
I may be a little too Pollyanna for this game. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Hey, Wiley, you good?
Simon, you kind of vaguely, and only because you're werewolf here, Jason's you good, but it sounds like one of those things where it echoes to you. You can respond if you wish, Simon. You can growl, howl, say, "I'm good," whatever you want to do.
Oh.
Or you can not respond and just be enraptured by this underground birthing chamber you've apparently landed in. It was very close to your city, by the way.
Yeah, he's words are difficult sometimes when he's wolfed out. So he's just going to like growl really loud.
By the way, you were also slightly distracted because you smell heat, and that's the pheromone smell.
Oh,
So we
Everyone
hear
else
the
above, you hear the howl. It does sound like it's coming out of a cave, though, which is weird because the silo, does not seem like it should be big enough to support a cave.
I don't speak werewolf. Is that good?
I'm gonna say probably not, just because I'm assuming this whole thing is going downhill at this point.
So we have to go.
Ah, it's a downhill. You don't know that yet. Though.
Yeah.
But I
downhill's
appreciate
like
it.
a
Thank you.
downhole.
So we have to go rescue him.
Maybe. Let's. At very least, we should probably stick our head in the door.
Can we find a better way down than going down the hole that he made? Because I'm not okay with that.
There's not that you can tell.
Great.
The silo is self-contained. If you walk around the outside, it's like attached to the barn, but there's nothing. The barn looks like there was a fire set inside, so it's like a shell of a barn. There does not seem to be, unless you want to go get a shovel and come back. But if the ritual is going on currently,
Piper's gonna call down the hole. Hey, Wolf Boy, if I jump, will you catch me?
What? That's an even worse idea.
I mean, how else are we gonna get down there?
I don't know. Can he climb up? Do we want to go down?
I don't know. At this point, I have no idea.
I will.
One
note-
bark for yes, two barks for no. Should we come down there?
that's so racist. That's so
What else am I
racist.
supposed to do? He's a wolf.
I just Simon, you hear this stuff. People are like, one bark for yes, two barks for no, and you're like, yeah, this is why I didn't tell people I was a werewolf.
I didn't say that. I just
Pretty
asked
much.
if he would catch me if I jumped down there.
He's gonna bark once It's an answer to both questions, whether they realize it or not.
All right,
By the way,
I'm gonna jump down.
you can tell it's an incline because you can tell just barely that it's like a ledge that goes down. So it's more
walkable.
of a slide, less of a like Geronimo thing.
Yeah,
By the
I'll
way,
slide
if that
down.
helps any.
I'm gonna slide down
Okay.
and hope that the one
Yeah.
bark meant yes, and I'm not gonna land on something gross.
Okay. Give me a dexterity plus acrobatics as you're sliding down the super happy fun slide. Anyone that's going down is going to have to do it. It's all dex acrobatics.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend a drama point to add a +5 to this.
When else are you going to be back in the silo of the damned? Really, you know.
You'd be surprised.
Take a chance. Pull the lever. You know.
I'm so glad I did that. Actually. 5, 6, 11 with the +5 that I added.
Yeah, that's what you needed. Nine is base success. So you slide down. It's very dark, and then all of a sudden you're in a earthing cavern, and there are a whole bunch of busted up eggs, and your eyes go right to the bat.
Does Simon actually catch me, or do I like land on?
Yeah, no, he's gonna make sure she doesn't go sliding into any of the stuff.
She's gonna like.
He's definitely strong enough to like pick her up with one hand.
She's gonna give him like head scratchies. Thank you, and then she's gonna go right.
Oh, and that's not racist.
You're not there yet. You have to do your dex acrobatics before you can know that happened. They just shared a tender moment.
Oh.
Are the rest of you staying topside?
I mean, first I'm gonna call down. You good, Piper?
I'm good.
Good.
Should we
good.
come down
now you're closer,
there?
you can hear there's like an echoey thing. Like it's definitely
at this point
down.
she's seen the bat and she like leaps out of Simon's hand or like leaps out of his arm and then goes right over to the bat.
It's a bat hanging on the wall. Very familiar bat.
Can I take it out?
I have a question. Is it like somebody stuck it like tip first into the wall, or is it like sitting on top of like a rock
No,
formation?
it has like a suction cup on the, I mean,
Yeah, it has that suction cup thing, or it's not so attached to the wall, but it's more like it's in, I don't know how else to say, it's like it's in webbing, so you don't like struggle too much, but it's definitely like it was taken mid action and it just kind of hung there afterwards, like it just generally rested in that way.
Is there any I really don't want to ask this question. Is there any blood on it? Is there any signs of damage to it?
No?
Do I see the owner of the bat anywhere?
No. The only two people currently in this birthing canal canyon place are you two. The werewolf and the witch.
Do I see anything else that belongs to any of my other friends?
No. And you're I'm not making you roll for it because you're hyper focused on, but no. So just because this is kind of how time works, Simon, meat, and smell it. There is a wall, and there is like meat behind the wall, on the opposite side of where you slid down from. And the longer you're here,
Is that the same place where the baseball bat is?
No, it's so the baseball bat is like on the right, and there's a left side, and there's like a back to the birthing chamber, but it looks like it's a wall. But like, smell the meat. Very there.
Okay. I'm gonna try and charge through break a hole in the wall.
Cool. I'm not going to make you roll for that, but first I either need people to I need people to come up with a reason not to stay topside, or I am going to start having to build a bug chamber at the top of the silo.
Oh no, I'm coming down too.
Well, I was
like I'm not
coming down,
leaving my
too.
kids.
Yeah,
I
I
was just
didn't
letting
want to
them RP.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Good.
break into the scene. It's an important scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
come
was-
down too. I just was waiting. Same.
I was also waiting on
Dexterity
an
and
answer to my
acrobatics.
question.
Can do.
She will
Piper
eventually call
ignored
out.
me.
No, it's fine. Come down.
Before
It
Fiona
sounds like
goes,
an
I'm like,
echo.
catch
Sounds
me.
like an echo.
Can
I'm
do.
bad at this. I'm really bad at this.
Dex and acrobatics. Okay, so base is 9. Are you?
All right, so Jason, you got
10. Sorry.
is 8 your total, or is
No,
that
10 is my total.
great? Yeah, so you do a little bit of tumbling, but you get down there like no major damage. Just if it wasn't hair raising and creepy, you would be like, yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
14.
14.
So
yeah, you're the
mine,
Slayer. You're fine.
yeah, even with the +5, is a total of 8 because I just rolled 1.
Oh no! I'll catch.
Great.
I'll catch you.
I'm
It's
trying.
less that you catch her and more that she crashes into you.
I'm like, I'm
Um,
trying. I got this. I got this.
So I want to end this episode with you kind of understanding what you see, which is why I kind of pushed this out to 3 hours. So the thing about the spell that you did in Sir Shakes is that was an immediate effect spell. So you don't smell the meat because the pheromones for the meat are very, very different. Here at Sunnydale Meat, where the meat was created.
Oh.
So when Simon goes crashing through the back wall, it opens up a whole area for you to see Sunnydale, made out of stone and canyon. Entire Californian city under the ground, moving toward Ocean Heights because definitely it should be farther away. The worst part of it for you, Fiona, you can look across because you've read enough of the journals to know how Buffy's story ended in Sunnydale. You can see the other side of the Hellmouth and the whole city of Sunnydale below. And maybe worst or best of all is that because everything is so dark, the only light source is coming from Sunnydale High School.
Fucking course it is.
Oh,
It's always the goddamn high school.
And that's where we'll end tonight's episode with all of you looking down at Rock Sunnydale underneath the earth and the light from Sunnydale High.
So that's definitely going to fuck with an archaeologist, right?
Yes. Right now, Jason, your mind is like, what's happening? Why is there a city made out of stone beneath? And depending upon your relationship with Sunnydale, you may have some very strong feelings. Piper, you're holding Aaron's bat in your hands.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bethany, bad energy.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Bad.
not.
But it's what I saw. So everything I saw actually, it wasn't metaphor. It actually was.
Yes,
And
but perhaps
she will basically say something like that. Oh God, it wasn't metaphor.
perhaps a cold comfort. And we'll see what happens next episode. The Broken Hearts Club finds out why Sunnydale is reforming and how the hell Luke is alive.
Oh,
Sweet
Jesus.
dreams all. Mother loves you.